You're juggling a 40-hour work week, family commitments, and an intense 8-week course that sometimes feels like it's moving at 100 miles an hour. You don't have time to waste, and you certainly don't want to wait until graduation to see that hard work pay off. Welcome back to the CSU Global Student Success Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Chace, and today we're cutting through the noise to show you how to level up your career right now, even before your diploma hits your hand. Joining me is Larissa from our Career Center to reveal the game-changing tools that you can use and help advance your professional growth today. So Larissa, thank you so much. Welcome into the show. To get us started, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our students and explain what it is your office does and how they can support the CSU Global community.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Larissa Bates, and I am the Career Services Specialist here for the Career Center. I've been here for a little over a year, but I do have about 6 years of professional experience working in higher education and career counseling. So very excited to bring some of those skills and experiences over to CSU Global and support our students here. As far as my role, what I support is our career coaches and resume reviewers who are part-time faculty. What's really cool about CSU Global is all of our coaches are also professors, so you get to meet them in the classroom, but to be a professor here, you have to have professional experience, meaning that you have to work in industry. And so we are really unique in that sense that you're actually connecting with industry professionals who are, in the trenches in the work, doing the work day and out to support our students with their career guidance. So I support our faculty that serve in that role in addition to their teaching. And then I also build out all the resources. I manage our platform. I support our marketing, outreach, events, the whole gamut for all of the other wonderful things that the Career Center does.
That's amazing. I mean, how many hats can one person wear? It sounds like you got like a Dr. Seuss thing going on over there where you got like 6, 7, 8 on top of your head. But that's
I think that's pretty common at
yes, it
CSU Global,
is.
right? We all kind
It,
of wear multiple hats in some ways.
that's right. Just all trying to help the mission go forward. But that's a great overview. I sincerely appreciate it. So like now, for the student who's currently, enrolled with us, working full time, balancing their education, how would you really describe like what your department offers and the specific support you can provide them?
Yeah, so we've really tried to build out resources with that in mind as much as possible. Understanding that a lot of our students are not only working full time, but they also have, family responsibilities, personal life responsibilities that they're also trying to manage. So although we do have live services where students can meet one-on-one with a career coach and get that, support through a Zoom meeting or a phone call. We also have a really robust set of self-service resources that students can access 24/7. And one of the ones that I think is really helpful is our Resume Dropbox, where students can upload their resume. Our resume reviewers, who are faculty working in the industry, take a look at those documents, give them feedback, and send it back virtually. So for the student who's never able to kind of set aside, normal business hours to meet with someone, they can still get some personalized support and services as well. So I really love that, we've built out a good balance to serve students in person through live meetings and then also virtually as well.
Yeah, 24/7. I mean, you can't get any better than that. That's amazing. And I love that. So like you were saying, all of our students are in a lot of different places in their life when they're coming to class with us. So it's where you can fit it in, when you can fit it in. So, we really just want to meet our students where they're at. So I love that you guys are doing that.
Absolutely.
When, I talk to a lot of students and, you always hear about, oh, I wish I would have known about the career services earlier, because they're getting closer to the graduation is usually when most students start putting that on their mind. Can you talk to us a little bit more about why we should be thinking about this at the beginning and not the end? And then, what we can do to help facilitate those type of conversations now that they're in class as opposed to waiting till that final graduation check to start looking into your service?
Absolutely. And if that's one thing that I can encourage the students that are listening to take away from this, is to start earlier. The earlier, the better. Um, a lot of times, because I also manage our communications and emails, I see emails from our alumni once they've graduated that are now coming back and asking for support with like resume and job search. And we do continue services. So alumni have lifetime support. So whether you're 5 years out or 10 years out, you can always come back to us at the Career Center and get those coaching and resume review services. But really, we would love for you all to do that while you're still here. One of the things that our coaches can support with is help you understand the industry. So maybe there are additional certifications, or maybe there's additional coursework or specialization that might be a better match for the type of work that you envision yourself doing in the field. And obviously, having those conversations at the beginning of your journey while you're still going through your program is going to be far more beneficial than once you've already graduated. So I definitely encourage students, I know you're busy, you have many things going on in your life, but if you can make it work with your schedule, to definitely come and do a career coaching session with one of our career coaches early in your pathway, so you can take advantage of some of that additional support throughout your journey here. So that would be the one that I would highly recommend. For folks that aren't able to do that, as I mentioned, there's still an abundance of self-service resources. We have stuff built out for resume, cover letter, of course, but also interview tips, navigating salary negotiation, how to I'm not sure if I mentioned interview already, but definitely interviewing is a big
Right.
one as well. So pretty much everything that you need from the journey, from the application to interviewing to actually landing that position successfully, we have resources on the platform to support with as well for self-service. So definitely encourage students to start thinking about that earlier rather than once they've already graduated.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's such a huge value add to you guys as the student that are listening because, you know, we've talked about it in the previous episodes. We'll talk about it in the future. Everything we do at CSU Global is career driven. You know, we want to be the work ready university that helps you while you're in class. So the best way to do that is to talk to the people who are in the industry that you are either, in already and trying to advance or pivoting to, so that way you can really truly learn if that's the fit that you want. No one can speak better to it than those who do it every single day. So
Mhm.
please take Larissa's advice and come visit them early and often. It's always just nice to have a good conversation with someone in the field that you're doing. That's why I'm so thankful you're here with me today, because that's what we get to do today is two coworkers in the same field get to talk. And, even if it's just for that, for our students, if you want to go hear what it's like a day in the life of the person in the field you're working with, we have that resource available to you. I would be curious though, because you did mention it when you were talking about more or less like we hear a lot of students who, while they're here, they want to either get some type of, professional certification or things of that nature. So how did the career coaches, assist students when they're looking for those more industry specific certs to help them advance in their career?
Yeah, so this comes up a lot for like accounting and project management and a couple other areas as well, like finance. But as I mentioned, our career coaches are industry professionals, and a lot of times they also maintain professional association memberships as well. So for those who are kind of looking to kind of expand their industry certifications, meeting with a career coach can be very helpful to identify which ones might be a good fit or the best fit for the type of work that you're trying to do. So although not directly related to, your degree, it may be additional work on outside of your degree for some of those
Right.
certifications. It can be extremely helpful for your career journey and career path.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we talked about in the previous episode, a lot of what we're trying to do for you guys at Global is move you from pile A to pile B in that interview pile. And then, you know, getting the degree is half the battle, and it's those little things along the way that can shift you from pile A to pile B. So again, just another great resource to bounce off you guys if you meet with our career services. But there's definitely one that I want to talk about that so we don't miss it, which is Global Connect, the thing that our students have access to through their portal. So if you could speak to a little bit to our listeners for like what that service is, how they access it, and why it's a good resource for them now while they're in class.
Yeah, so thank you for bringing that up. Global Connect is a really great platform. It's where we house our virtual career center. As I mentioned, students have access to it, but also our alumni have access to it for a lifetime at this point, which is very unique because most universities only limit kind of alumni access for like a year or a
Mm.
couple years post graduation, and some even require that it's a paid service post graduation. So the fact that we're able to keep it open and free for our students and alumni is truly unique. And I definitely encourage folks to take advantage of that. But the platform, how it functions is also not just like a house for like scheduling meetings with our career coaches and database of resources. It's also a mentor network. So as our alumni sign up for this platform, you all are asked if you are willing to give back to the university and help a student who's currently in the journey that you've already kind of been successful at navigating. If you're willing to support them by answering questions about the industry or just giving general support of like what it looks like in the field. So not only do you get the advantage of our professional faculty, but you also get the advantage of joining a network of your peer alumni through the platform as well. So that's a really really awesome thing. I know folks use LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is a little bit more broad, whereas
Right.
this is specifically tailored for our university and campus. And you can see folks that, have already kind of opted in specifically for that mentorship versus LinkedIn. You kind of are doing a little guesswork there. So it's
Right.
a
No, that's
really
a
cool
great point.
platform.
Yeah, that's a great point because we were talking about LinkedIn on the last episode with Nick because as we do as a university utilize it, but it's very true. Like you kind of got to put yourself out there. You got to send somebody the direct message and be like, "Hey, are you open to meeting with me?" And a lot of times, unfortunately, busy professionals leave those on red, as the kids would say. But
Hmm.
with us, these people are here because they signed up for it because they want to be a part of that and they want to help guide you in your journey just like they did. And a lot of the way the world goes around is networking and knowing who you know and the relationships that you can make. And with the services we provide you guys, we hope to foster that for you while you're here. So I sincerely hope that you guys take her up on that offer and jump in there. But how does your team help students translate their new CSU Global skills into a resume that actually grabs a recruiter's attention?
Yeah, that's really important. So a lot of our students are, from what we see, are career transitioners, or they may be looking for that next level of moving from kind of a mid-tier to a management position or a leadership position, executive position. And so our coaches are really great with understanding the job description and helping the student or alumni identify what skills that they already have from their current experience that can translate into the role that they're trying to get into. And one of the things I want to add to this is that we've actually just added a new tool called JobScan, which is free and available to both students and alumni. And that tool allows you to upload your resume and a job description, and it will actually do a cross reference and help you tailor to the job description and tell you how aligned you are. So that's a really great tool that's now available to our students and alumni. If you're not able to meet with a coach or do the Dropbox, that's available 24/7.
Wow, yeah, that's an amazing resource, especially because it could be so complicated when you look at like a job description and trying to think,
Hmm.
not only does my resume fit this, but what is it this job entails? It something that fits my skill set, just because it could be hard to read, but then also yeah, let's try to make it pop off the page by really aligning it with what they're asking for to make sure we move you from pile A to pile B. So, yeah, it's a great
Absolutely.
resource that I would encourage everyone who is listening to certainly take advantage of. And then I'll put, the career services contact information in the show notes and the comments below, just so that way you guys have quick access to the portal where they're at, as well as their contact information. So please feel free to reach out to them directly with any of those career related questions. Of course, your success counselor is always here and available to talk through stuff as well. But where we are the subject matter expert in your curriculum as far as the courses that you should take and when you should take them and how you balance that within your busy work life, our career center is going to be there for all the other stuff that's going to help you really take your journey to the next level and allow your, goals to become a reality. So I do sincerely appreciate you carving time out of your day to come hang out with us and chatting with us on the podcast. But before we wrap everything up, and I just wanted to see, you mentioned earlier meeting, coming in to see you guys early, and then we also talked about the portal. But if a student was sitting here listening today and they're like, I'm going to go do one thing from this podcast as my next step in my career center journey, what would that be? What would you be your number one recommendation for our students?
Yeah, I mean, just start simple, right? Just log into Global Connect and just see what's there and what's available to you, and just do like an inventory of the resources, so you know at the very least, even if you're not able to utilize it right now, you know what's open and available for you to take advantage of as a student and as an alumni. So definitely would encourage, if you haven't already, to get logged into that platform. It is single sign-on. You can access it through your student portal. There's a little Career Center button on the left side, I believe, that you can click on to get there. But yeah, definitely would encourage folks to at least do an inventory of their resources for the Career Center.
Amazing. It's clear that the Career Center is a game changer for our working adult learners. We know that balancing a full time career, family, an 8-week course is a massive undertaking. But remember, you do not have to navigate this alone. Whether it's through the Career Center or your student success team, we are here to ensure your education translates to the real world and, more importantly, real world results. Check out the resources mentioned in today's episode in the show notes below, but don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help, and we're so thankful for you stopping by. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll catch you on the next one.